let's take a look at pulling some of this together in terms of the training, because you alluded to that earlier with the hybrid and how you're going out and doing some team training and things
Yeah.
like that. How do you pull that together? We're talking leadership now, for those of you playing our board game at home. How do you go about leading a team, making sure that you understand some of these different things, but at the same time, obviously reaching different people who have different styles?
Well, I think for me, like, let's use compensation plan training for an example. One of the most sort of dry trainings you can probably do, right?
Right.
In your career. So you need to have some chart, let's say hypothetically, this is PowerPoint. You need to have some charts and some graphs,
Okay.
obviously, for your digital
Okay.
people. But
Okay.
within that PowerPoint presentation, you need some fluffy stuff,
Okay.
right? So you need some pictures of, trees and ocean and sitting, having that Zen moment. And
Okay.
then, happy family pictures and things like that. So for me, if I'm doing compensation plan training, I need to incorporate all of that because your kinesthetic people will glaze over. Have you ever done a training and you look around the room and you've got a group of people that are writing notes and you've got a group of people sitting there deer in the headlights? They're probably your kinesthetic learners. And then your visual learners, they want to see something, they want to make sure your PowerPoint looks good and it's not too crowded. And your auditory people, they don't really want to see all that. They want to hear you talk about it. So you don't want to just go slide to slide to slide without the explanation and the detail in the explanation. So your auditory people, and a lot of auditory people, they're not even often looking at the screen. They're just listening.
So what you're doing is, from a leadership standpoint, when you do like a hybrid type deal and you're talking, how would you do you shuffle like a CD player through the different songs? Like, are you shuffling through the things? So maybe you're telling some happy stories and then you're doing some other things. I guess that's my question. Are you shuffling through some of that?
Yeah,
or...
it's gotta be a mixed bag. It's gotta be a mixed bag, right? Because otherwise, and PowerPoints often are very appealing to the digital people, right?
Okay.
So if somebody says to me, "Oh, Louise, we want you to do a presentation and we would really like it on PowerPoint." And then you ask them exactly what does that PowerPoint look like? Oh, well, we want the numbers and the facts and that's probably a digital person, right? And it's the same, we all have team groups on Facebook. I have a team group on Facebook. And so some days, I'll go live in there, and other days I will just record something and post it in there. And then some days I'm just posting bullet points, for them to read. And I'm hoping that throughout the week, I've caught everybody.
Okay, so you're looking at it as an overarching, like Stephen Covey talks about, begin with the end in mind. And it's the idea of, and he also talks about planning your week. Don't look at the day, but look at the week. So if we combine those 2 points, begin with the end in mind. The end, obviously, is to get people where they get whatever information you're doing, right? Okay, that's the end. But we combine that with the week, which is, if I'm hearing you correctly, on social, you are actively thinking, all right, here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be my, my digital folks. This is going to be my audio folks. This is going to be my kinesthetic folks. And you're kind of actively going down that road. That is really, really interesting.